I think that's a really good point about the feel of the notes in your voice. I think that's something that goes away really quickly when you start on T. Like, all of a sudden, you're just disoriented.
Yeah, it's like you wipe the chalkboard clean.
Yep.
What do I do with this now?
Start over.
Right.
So my experience is singing. I've been singing my entire life. Did choir in high school and middle school and elementary school, so way back. I had voice lessons when I was in high school that were very classically oriented, but certainly at home, you know, playing guitar or whatever, my interest was in rock and pop and folk to some extent too. So I was doing a lot of mixing of techniques between the two, and it was really helpful. And I just started singing and kept going, and I haven't really stopped. Even through transition, I didn't have the experience of vocal strain that you had, or stopping completely like you had. I just kept going, and because I wanted to.
And your voice got stronger.
It did, absolutely. Like I didn't sing a lot before transition because my voice was really high and really pretty, which completely clashed with my sense of myself as a big mean dude. So I did stop singing for a while, or I would just sing privately and refuse to perform.
But that was prior to.
So that was way before T.
Testosterone.
Yeah. I started T in 2003, and I started on the gel, and my doctor was basically like, he sent me home the first day with a ton of it. It's like, go for it, which may or may not be good medical practice, but I was happy about it. And I started taping my voice pretty much right away. Like that first night, I got my tape recorder out and said a few things, and kept doing that every week or two consistently for a few months. And so I have that record now. It's cool as a document, you know, a historical thing, but it's also cool to kind of see how long it took my voice to change. I would say it settled out completely after 4.5 years. But there were plateaus along the way where it was more stable, and I noticed that certain parts of my range had filled in a usable way. And now everything's fine. I'm really happy with how things have turned out. I think I'm lucky. This is Garfield, so we have to introduce Garfield. But yeah, I sing along with certain artists. A lot of them happen to be female. A lot of them are more R&B, pop oriented, which is just interesting for technique. And of course, you know, with the band, I'm doing a lot of screaming and yelling and thrashing around. But listening to a lot of female artists, I've found that I can work on hearing my range an octave down. Like I was trained to hear myself matching those pitches, and now I'm switching to the mindset of, you know, the bass clef, which is this whole new territory. But it's kind of exciting. And I still do some old exercises and stuff. One thing that's been really significant recently is I'm post-chest surgery and not having to bind anymore, and having the use of my lungs and my entire rib cage is, I mean, it's great for like biking and running and stuff, but it's really great for singing too, like just to be able to put a lot more power behind, you know, whether I'm screaming or trying to do some really complicated run. Like it's great to have that. So I would say just, I mean, keep singing. Don't let, you know, your neighbors or your roommates be like, man, you suck, because you probably will, you know, for a little while. But honestly, but
it seems like a long while.
Yeah, but keep doing it, and just take care of your instrument. Make sure you're, you know, not pushing it too hard. If you get frustrated, just back off a little bit. Try it again later. Like, you get one voice, you don't get to go buy a new one, so just be nice to it.
And one thing I'll add is what I started on. And I started on the gel as well for the first month or two. And then I switched to the lotion, or the cream. And I was on the cream for the first probably 2.5 years. And then for financial reasons, I switched to injections. So I kind of went the whole gambit of options. And I don't know how much that affected my vocals, but that was my experience. So the good news is that you can transition and keep your singing voice. It's going to be different than you're used to, and it might not always sound like a way you want it to sound, but it's possible. And if you put the time and effort in, you know, hopefully you won't be disappointed.
Yeah, I to kind of go back to what I was saying before, definitely keep doing it, keep making music, even if you find out that you can't sing. Like, it could happen that you know, will get a few months in and, you know, keep working on it, get a couple years in, and you just have no more singing voice. That's fine, but keep making music, because I found that, like, participating in music through my transition has helped me in so many other ways besides just art. I mean, it's a way of making friends and instituting discipline in my life.
Getting out frustrations.
Absolutely. And testing my limits. And then I've also had to hang out with these guys a lot, which is good for support. You know, like, maybe not everybody's going to have this
Good
kind
and
of situation.
bad, you know.
Sometimes, but it's been awesome. So, you know, keep music in your life regardless of how things turn out.
You get the video? So that's it for today. We're Tough Skin, and we'll see you next time.